in this future of music where, AI is going to be creating 1,000 new songs a minute.
Already is.
Already is?
Yeah, it's already happening. 200,000 a day being uploaded to Spotify. A month
200,000.
ago, it was 130,000 at the beginning of the year. Today, I'm sure it will be much higher. So it's already happening.
Crazy. So yeah, in a market that is already as much just noise as there is, find somebody that is actually signal within that is going to be ever increasingly difficult. And so to create something for yourself, like you have, or you haven't had to answer anybody, you're able to do whatever you want, create whatever you want. It is creating this kind of bubble that you're in where you don't have play within the same forces as a normal artist or somebody else that is trapped in the machine.
It's very important now, more than ever. And it was always the case, but now more than ever, to be as pure and uncompromised an expression of you as possible, right? Right. I talk about that. I mentioned earlier that Byzantine conduit. You are the Byzantine conduit, right? Every experience you've had, every thought you've had, every adventure you've had, everything you've loved, everything you've loathed, all of those things that combine to be you, right? And then what you create goes through that. And what emerges if it goes through that, unfiltered, untouched, unmolested, uncompromised, will be a pure expression that could only have come through you, that could not come from anywhere else, right? AI can't replicate that. AI can copy the expression, but it can't predict the next one. And if you keep working like that, and whatever you do, if whatever you do is a pure expression of you that is coming through that Byzantine conduit that is you, that's something that only you can do. And you will have a place in the world, and an ever more valuable place in the world. If what you do is copying some other people, AI can do that better, right? If what you do is a compromised version of you, because you're scared, right? So what comes out is you mixed with what you think other people want. AI can do that, right? What AI can't do is true you. And you that keeps moving, it keeps stepping forward and doesn't stop and get scared and confused. It can only copy, it can't create. It can't truly create, right? So that's what everyone needs to be doing, and it will be wonderful. Because if everybody's doing that, imagine the glory of that world, right? Where everyone is operating at 100% pure them, as great as truly great as possible. You only have greatness. Mid goes. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it's no coincidence that mid has become slang over the past few years, right? And widely used slang. Mid means bad now. Mid, just the word mid, meaning middling, average, middle of the road. That's now actually the worst thing that you could be. If a record comes out and it's mid, right? Mid is bad because mid is what AI can copy. AI creates mid. That's what AI can do. AI can create, it can pump out mid forever. And if mid is okay for you, then you'll be satisfied, right? So all these movies that have come out and the past 10, 15 years of movies where everything's just been sort of boiled down to this lowest common denominator thing that can get through. I remember saying years ago that there is no way that a Marvel movie could ever be better than a 7. At the peak of Marvel, when people were like, this is great, I was like, the best is a high 6.8, 7. Because it couldn't be any better, because something better wouldn't get through the focus groups. Godfather is not going to get through a focus group, right? Greatness doesn't get through a focus group because there's too many mid people of middling intelligence and experience who just wouldn't understand it, and they get angry about shit like that. They get angry about greatness, right? So it has to be mid. So movies became mid, and music became mid. There's no truly great Taylor Swift record. There's mid Taylor Swift record. True greatness isn't allowed to exist in that system, right? So you just end up with mid. And then what happens is AI is unleashed. AI can create all the mid in the world. Do all the mid in the world. So if what you're focused on is creating mid, you're fucked. You are out of a job. You're not useful anymore, right? Because robots can do mid. So you need to be doing greatness. And greatness comes as a pure expression of you in an uncompromised fashion. That's where greatness comes from, working in harmony with the divine. So
how does somebody get in touch with that uncompromised version of themselves that is truly them? You know, as we talked a little bit before, just, you know, we all have programming from society, from our childhood, from people, from teachers, that knowing what is truly us can be difficult.
yeah, you're
So
right.
how does someone go about doing that?
Well, that goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, right? So distancing, working out what is you, what is the you that is awareness, and what is coming from somewhere else, right? So like, is that me, or is that something my mom said when I was 7? Is that me, or was that on Twitter and I read it last week and now it's come back up again and I'm thinking it's my thought, right? So you work on that, on being you, being awareness, the awareness that is you. And the more you do that, the more you're able to tune into what is you and what is not you, and to separate those things. And then therefore when you're creating, the choices you make, because when you're just making choices, right? Are they your choices or someone else's choices? And so you work on it becoming more and more your choices and less other people's choices. And the more you do that, it's a muscle, and it becomes stronger and stronger, and it gains momentum. And the deeper into that you go, the more an expression of you rather than someone else it is. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And eventually you'll get to a place where what is coming out of you in your just everyday speech and what you create and how you operate in the world is a truer expression of you than ever it was before. You keep doing that, and then one day you die.